Good afternoon, class. I'm Miss Child, and today we are going to talk about place value and column addition. Who remembers yesterday what we learned about place value? Yeah, that's one thing that we did learn, that we're working with ones, tens, and hundreds, which is a number times 10 because we use a 10-based unit. So today we're going to do column addition. Does anybody know what column addition is? It's using place value to add numbers. So let's first start off with our place values. What's the first place value we have? It's ones. And our next one, that is correct, it's tens. And the next one that we're going to work with after tens, it goes one, tens. That is correct, yep, it's hundreds. So those are the three we're going to work with today. So the first step in column addition is writing your place values up top. And we're going to add the addition sign down below. So our first examples we're going to work with is 180 plus 110. So where does the 0 go in 180? The hundreds, tens, or ones? We see it's the last digit, and it will go in the ones column. What about the 8 in 180? Does it go in the hundreds or tens? Yep, it goes in the tens. And then finally, we see the 1 in 100 would go in the hundreds place. So what about our next number, 110? The 0, again, will go in the 1. The first one we see, the middle one, will go in the middle. And the last one will go in the 100 spot. So then we'll add them up. So first, we'll start with the ones. So we see 0 plus 0 in the ones is going to be 0. Now in the tens, we see 8 plus 1 is, that's correct, 9. And lastly, in the hundreds, we see 1 plus 1, which is 2. So now we know we have 2 in the hundreds, a 9 in the tens, and a 0 in the ones. So our answer will be 290. Does anybody have any questions so far? Perfect. We'll move on to another example. So our next example we're going to do is 111 plus 80. So let's work with our first number up here. We see it's 111. So this first one will go in the ones. The second one will go in the 2, or the tens. And the third one will go in the hundreds. So we have a pretty basic concept of 3 digits going hundreds, tens, and ones. So now let's work with our 80s. So should we start over here writing it? Or over here? Because it could be 80. But is that correct? No, it's not, because we see the 8 over here in the 0, and over here we see the 8 and the 0, but we see the over to the left. So we always need to make sure that we start with our ones column. Even though there's a 0, there'd still be a 0 in the ones column and an 8 in the tens column. So let's add this up now. So we see 1 plus 0 is 1. 8 plus 1 is 9. And then 1 plus, well, if there's nothing else there, what is it? We can pretty much put an imaginary 0 there. So it'd be 1 plus 0 is 1. And then our answers would be, there's a 1 in the hundreds, a 9 in the tens, and a 1 in the ones. So our answer will be 191. Any questions with that one? Perfect. Okay, so let me explain this a little bit better for you. So when we work with a two-digit number, 0 and 8, we see 80. So how do we figure out where it goes if it doesn't fill up this whole chart? Well, we know that with two digits, so we can see 8. So if we do 8 times 100, we're going to get 800 if we put it there. And then is that correct? Is that what our number is? No. So let's try again. If we do 8 times 10, what is our number? We see 0 times 8 is 8, and 1. 0 times 8 is 0, and 1 times 8 is 80. Is that our number? Yes. So up here in our heads, we could put a times 100 and a times 10 and a times 1, so we know we're going to put our digits if we're having any confusions, because then we know 8 times 10 equals 80. So let's show one more example. This one's going to be a little tricky, so make sure you guys follow along. Alright, so we're going to do 102 plus 120. And now those. So let's start with this first 102. We know that the 2, if we times it by 1, would be a 2. So it goes there. But then we have a 0 here, so do we put the 1 over here in the tens, or do we put the 1 again in the hundreds? This can be a little tricky because we know it goes 1, 10, 100. So this will be our 1. This will still be our tens, even though there's a 0, so we use it there so we can add to the next number, and then we see the 1 will go in the hundreds. Okay, what about this next number? So, well, it's 120, so we know the 0 will be used in the ones. The 2 now, if we times it by 2, we'd get 20, so we know it goes in the tens. And then the 1, if we times it by 100, would equal 120, so we put it in the hundreds. So let's add this up. Ones. So we have 2 plus 0 equals a 2 in the 1 spot. And then we go 0 plus 2, so we know a 2 in the 10 spot. And then the hundreds, we see 1 plus 1 is a 2 in the 100 spot. So we get 222 as our final answer. Does anybody have any questions about the concepts of place value or addition that we have went over so far? Perfect. Okay, now you guys are each going to get a worksheet, and you have 15 minutes to complete the 5 problems on the worksheet.